Alright guys, another dang Isaac. We can go for boss rush, but let's just do a Judas. Oh wait, I have to name that one a different thing. Thank you. I really don't mean to be like... Okay, so in the last video I ended up talking about Christianity and my questions there, and I don't want people to think that I'm like... I mean, I am an atheist, but I don't want people to think that I like have negativity in my heart about people who are religion. I have negativity about religion as a practice, kind of, because a lot of the times it is used as a tool of manipulation, selective readings of the Bible, etc., etc. Like, you can kind of say whatever you want by looking for the right passage of the Bible, and that's frustrating to me. That's like actually super frustrating to me. That you can hate as hard as you want to, as long as you just stick in the Old Testament. You can selectively love certain people and not others if you intentionally misread or ignore things while zooming in onto other aspects. It's too useful as a tool of argument to take things from the Bible that are just like, yeah, it's a self-contradictory book. It is. Like, as rude as that sounds, like, people flip out about inconsistencies in works of fiction all the time. The inability that I don't know, you're not allowed. I grew up religious. I grew up like going to a Southern Baptist church with my mom when things were rough. We didn't, you know, necessarily spend much time in church when things were well, which kind of, not by itself, but as a part of a lot of other experiences, made me realize that the main drive of religion is safety net. It's fear. You don't want to. My sister pretty much, you know, moved away from the church when she grew up. She got pregnant and she started going to church. Like, she taught her daughter, you know, that religion is truth, and that God is real, and all of that. Like, because she is scared that her daughter, if she doesn't, her daughter will burn in hell. And I haven't had a kid. I don't know what it'll feel like when I do, if I'm gonna just be like, religion's stupid, or if I'm gonna like care about them so much that I'm gonna like say like, well, let's pray just in case. Let's give this God guy a chance. But I get that it's built communities. People tend to think a lot of the time that were it not for religion, everyone would be slaughtering everyone else at all times. That it'd be mayhem, and that there hasn't been mayhem with religion. She started to, yeah. She got pregnant kind of young, and it was just fear. Like, it was really like, and she said that to me. She's like, I don't want my daughter to suffer for all eternity because I didn't spend time in God's house, or whatever. However, she didn't say it like that. No one freaking talks like that. But that was the gist of it. That was her reasoning for reaccepting it. And there's this cool little loophole in modern Christianity that if you freaking claim Jesus as your Lord and Savior, and for, you know, like, what is it? Not absolve. Confess your sins and take responsibility at any time. It kind of washes the sins of the past from you. So it's like, why not wait till the end? Like, why not just, we're gonna go after boss rush. That God put himself on planet Earth to die, to wash sins away from people, which, why doesn't he just freaking take, he's all powerful. Like, why does he need these caveats? Why does he need someone to, like, you can be good and wholesome and holy your whole life, like, in action, and not believe in God, not believe in Jesus God, and burn in hell? That's fucked up. Like, it's super weird to me that there's this clause. If you're born, let's say you're born in, I don't know, Mozambique. Let's say you're born in Mozambique, never learn to speak English, you just speak whatever language they speak there, and you never hear a word about Christianity. You're going to hell. Forever. I know that that kind of is why the pilgrimages, not the pilgrimages, but the, what do they call it when people go and teach proselytizing? Missionaries. That's why missionaries exist. Their whole thing is like, hey, we gotta save souls. Like, we gotta get people out there, keeping these guys, getting our numbers up, keeping these guys from eternal damnation. Very, very noble endeavor, as far as I'm concerned, if that's their pure motivating principle. That is absolutely 100% noble. And the people who did it from a spirit of goodness and concern are wonderful people. The people who, like, then took advantage of natives and, you know, put the first steps into colonization, they kind of ruined it for the rest of them, for the good guys. It's strange to me that, like, still the motivating force behind that, even in the good ones, is fear. Like, it's fear of punishment. It's not doing good things because it's just the right thing to do. It's doing good things so that you're not later punished. Or other people are punished. What was that, man, I'm like drawing blanks on a lot of these terms. There were these things you could buy for a while in the Catholic Church that were like, it was like you were buying points towards grace, towards getting into heaven. You can give a donation of like $50 and you get like 50 heaven points. But if you gave like $40,000, you could just like, you could slaughter everybody. You could slaughter the Pope if you gave 40,000. You had 40,000 freaking heaven points. Like, oh my God, what is the term? And people for like over a century were like, this is totally what's up. You just gotta pay that money and you're good to go. Like, be a bastard, just throw around some dollar bills. I know that that's not like the current practice, and it feels like, looking back on those archaic things, it's like focusing on the silliness. But like, when a guy says that God hates gays because of a certain passage in the Bible, it feels like we haven't come too far. Like, indulgences, that's what look at the name, man. The name is just saying, like, go ahead, have fun, just give the church some more riches, and you're good. God, indulgences. What a name. Oh, Lord. Just, like, indulge yourself. Go have a good time. Just, like, remember that at the end of it, we need that money. Please. I don't know. Using fear to exert influence over people is bullying, right? Right? Can we all agree that? Bullying is using fear, violence or the threat thereof, or social violence, whatever you want to call it, is like the definition of bullying. You're manipulating people through the promise of punishment. And it's like spanking a kid or whatever. It's I don't know. I hate it. I hate it. This is no longer coming off as like fair and unbalanced. I just like, it's so weird to me, man. Like, the whole thing is just weird as shit. Yeah. So, we're never gonna use this book again. Oops. Because it actually decreases our stats overall. What am I doing? Why am I getting hit like that? You know, if we get the boss rush, we'll use it once, because we'll get the reload. Ooh, shit. And then once it's reloaded, we'll use it again. Dude, this fight is too small. I don't know. I'm sorry. I hate that I bring up religion and then feel like guilty about it. But it's just like the history. Like I'm reading these books by Neil Stephenson. It's like the Baroque cycle, I think is what he calls it. And you know, religion plays a big part because religion is the largest it's a government that spans countries. It's greater than any other force in the history of mankind at controlling people, at governing bodies. And like there all these arguments against like popery or Anglicanism, freedom of conscience, and all this stuff going on at the time, the like late 1600s, early 1700s, when these books are take place, and it's people getting in these arguments about like how bad Catholicism is, and then heading all down to Anglican Church, like it's like what? Like, I mean, I get it. Catholicism, some pretty fucked up practices, and Henry VIII could not get a divorce. So, Anglicanism, but like, it's greater problems, man. Greater problems with the fundamental thing. I don't know. I wish. I mean, I'm playing a game that's basically like a spit in the face of at least Old Testament Christianity, but it's something that's always on my mind. Like, do you know that in like 11 states it is illegal to be in office if you're an atheist? It is, by state law, illegal to not believe in God and be in public office. I think it's 8 states, maybe more. It's most likely more. You don't get like You don't get a choice. I mean, most people just lie, right? But like, it's still, if it comes out that you said when you were 14 that you're an atheist, you would lose your office or whatever. But not if you raped someone. Oh, this country is fucked. It's so weird, man. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. That's a good item we just got. Let's get out of here. There's something like horribly wrong with this country. South Carolina is one of the states, the state I grew up in. And what I don't understand is, okay. So, if through your own internal thinking and decision making, etc., you decide that you don't believe in God, in any God, you are then not allowed to run for office. However, if you decide that you believe in Judaism or Hinduism or Buddhism or something, you can still run for that office. Like, you don't have to be a Christian. It's more upsetting to people for you to not worship anything than for you to worship what they would call a false god. That's true. I mean, but like, I think the main problem that our country is as bad as it is, in my eyes, is because it doesn't feel that it's bad. Like, I know that you go to Pakistan, you're gonna have a bunch of Pakistanis who believe 100% that they are in the best country in the world, and in many ways, because, you know, that feeling at all is based on, I haven't gotten it yet, I don't think, is based on whatever you use to decide what makes a country the best country, which is arbitrary. Not arbitrary, but it's, you know, it's your own call. There's some people who, it's just like, they got the best freaking shawarma, best country in the world. But, it can be as, America can be as messed up and hateful towards, like, all other countries and other Americans, and still think it's just like this pure little baby. Like, I am, yeah, maybe blessed isn't the right word after all of this discussion, but, oh wait, let's go donate the rest of this money. We got time. But I'm very fortunate to have the freedom that I have, like, extremely fortunate, and I don't hate the United States. I just think that, like, there's some super obvious problems that people are unwilling to look at when they discuss the nation. We're not the best, we're not the worst. We're just flawed like everything is. And I think it's pretty important to accept that. Oh crap, you know what? We can now, oh lord. Okay, we're gonna get all of this. We can now actually... Yeah, okay. Do that and then never lose our... Ooh, boy, that sucked. Never lose our, Shit. Why are we getting hit so much? So suddenly? We do have the Emperor card if we need to leave, but I think we're gonna make it through here. Stop hitting me. Alright, maybe I gave too much. Maybe I should have picked health instead of concussive tears, but... But yeah, this whole thing, this whole monologue I've given about the country and religion is not one of hate. It's one of just, it's honest confusion. And I think that that's fair. I don't know. I think a big problem I have with organized religion is that it asks you to not think, like, and that's like a fundamental problem in my mind. Like anything at all that suggests that the best way to move forward is to turn off your skepticism is problematic for me. Oh boy, okay, that guy can't be touched. Was that the bloat? Kill a bloat without even seeing him? Means we're in a pretty good place for this run. I hope we can at least get to show on this run. Isaac makes me talk about some weird stuff. I don't bring these like as controversial topics up as much in Gungeon. I don't know why. Hey, Judas the Shadow, that's actually a really good thingamajig. Yeah, I love it. I love being able to not lose, Let's just go. I have this rule with this game. If I get the freaking rotten baby, I don't drop it. Rotten baby is my little baby boy. Holy crap, that was fast. Man, I don't even know what's locked in this game. I think that's like an easy way out. I think that there's no such thing as genuine social or societal homogeneity. I think that it is I think if you go to other cultures, other countries, you will you'll see a lot of variety if you look for it. The outward appearance to the world is that there isn't, but in reality there is a lot of diversity within many, if not most, developed countries. And, I mean, many, if not all, developed countries. And, I think that, like, countries that benefit from having like a similarity of like religion or of history are oh cool, we did get it. They do have an easier time telling a narrative and telling a story because there's not, there we go. That's a lot of unlocks. And I think that narrative is really helpful at shaping how how people feel about their nation. However, I think the main reason that it's hard for our country to work together is because divisions are utilized by powerful, or whoops, by the powerful or the wealthy to manipulate people, to take advantage of people. They're used for personal gain. I think that people know that keeping us separated, keeping tribalism alive, is what allows them to affect the kind of changes they want. That's why there's so many us versus them arguments. That's why minorities are considered a problem. That's why there are white people who are afraid of being the minority in their country, because they want to be the us. They don't want to be the them. And it's that tribalism that really like reinforces that. I don't know. I think the whole thing, I think the United States is in a particular, like, interesting spot historically, being a nation of immigrants. But it's not the first. I mean, it's not the first, it's not the last. It's not the one that's had it the hardest. It is probably the most successful nation of immigrants in the history of the world. But I think that being justification for divisiveness being still the Hierophant, like, utilized as much as it is part of the problem. So this is something I've brought up plenty of times before, and I'll probably bring it up again. I learned it from the book, a book that's like the sequel to John Dies at the End. It's called the Babel Threshold. So there's this study done. I need to just look it up. I need to have this information down because I talk about this so much. That says determining one's like group is based on a certain region of the brain, hypothalamus or hippocampus or something like that, and we use it to kind of determine who's in our group. Yeah, no, the book is called, this book is full of spiders. There's actually 3 of them. There's What the Hell Did I Just Read, which is pretty good. It's okay. No, the study is what I'm trying to remember the name for. Oh, and by video,